Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. We're looking at a bit of news today in the gaming world, not so much centered around Xbox, but we are looking at how Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth hasn't done as well as expected. We are awaiting the game failed to meet our expectations yet again, with Final Fantasy 7 being only on PlayStation. And I know a remake was on PC, but if the game comes out a year or 2 years later, no one cares. We have seen this time and time again, and I've had this discussion on Twitter. It doesn't matter. If a game comes out so late, no one cares. The hype for that game goes, and it just kind of goes away. And the fact that they released it at full price as well, it adds more salt to the wound. But, you know, if you are going to enjoy this content and want to support what I do, hit that like button, smash that red button to subscribe, hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release. 7,000 subs, we are going to do a giveaway, and then every 1,000 subs after that. So stay on track, keep supporting, and if you want to show further support, you can do that through my Patreon, YouTube membership, and of course, super thanks at the bottom. Right, so the first piece of news we have right now is the Bafta Awards, and obviously Baldur's Gate 3 wins Best Game at the Bafta Awards. There was no real surprise here, it was always going to win. Baldur's Gate 3 is just such a game that has really taken over everything. I know people have different feelings on this game, like I do myself personally, but it is what it is, and Baldur's Gate 3 has once again walked away with the biggest of honours. However, in terms of awards, you have animation with Hi-Fi Rush, artistic and audio achievement go to Alan Wake 2, which was my personal game of the year, British game Viewfinder, debut game Venba, evolving game Cyberpunk 2077, totally undeserved. It is not an evolving game, it is not a live service, that should never have even been there. Why is this game even getting nominated? There is something wrong with this system. But anyway, Game Beyond Entertainment, Cheer. I really want to check that game out. I've been recommended it a number of times. Game design, Dave the Diver. Multiplayer, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Music, Baldur's Gate 3. Narrative, Baldur's Gate 3. I still think Alan Wake 2 should have taken that. New IP, Viewfinder. We have Performer in Leading Role, Nadji Jetta as Miles Morales in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Performer in a supporting role, Andrew Wincott as Raphael in Baldur's Gate 3, Player's Choice, Baldur's Gate 3, and Technical Achievement, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. But at least one Xbox game made it in there with Hi-Fi Rush. It's a shame that no PlayStation games made it in there. Anyway, moving on, we have this over here, with J-Rock saying, "I beg your pardon," and Daniel Ahmad says, "It's selling about half of what Remake sold in the same time frame and looks like it'll have a weaker tail prior to any PS Plus like release." So obviously after a certain time the game goes on to PS Plus, that is part of the contract. So Square Enix is standing to lose a lot of money on this game, and with the third one coming as well, if they have tied a contract that it can only be released on PlayStation, this is bad times for Square Enix, really is. But he then goes on to say, also not to be that guy, but Rebirth is underperforming sales-wise. Not that sales performance is related to what that guy said. I mean, at the end of the day, regardless of how you put it, it's not selling. And 2 million sales, which is what, 3.8% of the total PlayStation fan base, pretty much tells you everything you need to know on how these games are performing on PlayStation. And at some point, Squaresoft is going to have to turn around and just start to reconsider what they want to do, whether they want to go with all their games full multi-platform, or at the very least release it day and date on PC. And with news that I hope to have some clarification on Tuesday, that could actually be a really, really positive thing for Xbox fans. So stay tuned to that stream on Tuesday, because we should be having some bit of news. At least if what my sources are telling me is true. Of course, then we come over to this one over here. The Gamer says PlayStation data suggests $70 games are resulting in fewer sales. But you know, all those ponies out there are going, "We buy our games," and all that, and they're like, "We purchase our games. Xbox gamers don't purchase their games." And then, you know, they're over here not buying their games because $70 means that they can't afford it. But they're still championing right now that games should be $80, $90, $100, $120, but they can't even buy games at $70. Now, you to make that make sense to me, this is the community that is saying that games should be $100 right now, but the data suggests that they don't even buy games at $70 because they are too expensive. But yet they are championing that games should be released at $100 or $100+. Make the ludicrousy, the insanity, the stupidity make sense. It's not making any sense to me. It is not making any sense. And let's face it, we've been telling them this for a while. Helldivers 2 is a beautiful example. Palworld is another example. That if the games are priced at a lower rate, they will sell more. But yet you'll have the CEO of Saber turn around and say, if we price the games at $40, then people will think that the game is cheap and badly made and no one will buy it. Who in their right mind is thinking that? I mean, what sort of mental gymnastics has to go through your head for you to be thinking something like that? The data itself is telling you everything you need to know. £70, $70 games are resulting in fewer sales. The reality is, once the game gets to 70, 75, it's getting closer to that $100. You reconsider if you're going to spend $100 on a game. At £50, I bought so many games, but the moment it went to 70, I know it's not that much more, but psychologically, I reconsider if I need to buy that game now or wait for a sale. But at £50, I buy it. That's the difference. And, you know, it's crazy to think that they can't see this. I mean, in a gacha game that I play on my other channel, there was a skin that was released for £8, as opposed to the £100 one. Right? Yeah, they do £100 skins. But it's a gacha game. What do you expect? Not that I buy any of those. People that buy them are crazy. They're the whales. The ones that have no concept of money. But do you know that the £8 skin outsold the £100 skin? They sold an exponential amount of those £8 skins, but it outsold the £100 skin. Why do you think that is? Because it's more accessible. People are willing to take a punt. People are willing to take a gamble. But at 70, 100, they're not willing to take that gamble. They'll wait for a discount. Days Gone was the same. When Days Gone was released, people didn't buy it. People waited for a sale and then bought it. And then you had the CEO come out of Ben Studios and said, well, you guys should have bought it if you wanted an actual sequel. You didn't buy it when the game came out, and that is the metrics that people look at. But what can you do? So this one over here is a bit of a satire post. I just wanted to spare a moment for this dude who is port begging for a console he doesn't own. I mean, you literally cannot make this up. My dude is port begging for a console he doesn't own. Let that sink in for a second. This was sad. Like, I've seen some sad stuff from Unleashed, but this one, port begging for a console he doesn't have, this was sad. Now this one is actually a really weird one. State of Decay producer Jeff Strain closes new studio due to leaks. Xbox-linked Project VanCourt canned amid leak concerns. Now this is actually a pretty interesting read. However, Nicole Carpenter, who wrote the article and collected the information, had this to say. So I'll have a link to this and the article in the description below. But what I'm going to read is Polygon's Nicole Carpenter's tweet. The tweet reads, in a bizarre studio closure and layoff message to staff, Possibility Space owner Jeff Strain blamed the studio closure on employees leaking information to the press. And it reads, last week I received a list of topics and questions from Ethan Gatch, I think I pronounced that right, a reporter at Kotaku, regarding an article he's writing about Britannia Media and the closure of Crop Circle Games. Much of it was expected, but I was also stunned to see non-public information about Project VanCourt, disclosure of our publishing partner with details of our business and financial relationship and details of internal profit and loss discussions and confidential all-company meetings. Mr. Gatch specifically credits current employees as the source of this information. And this is why you never reveal your source, right? Because what you're about to see is the result of revealing your source. Even though they didn't directly reveal the person, the company didn't take, Jeff didn't take any risks at all. He just literally guillotined the whole thing, as you're going to see. Leaks of this nature are typically malicious and done by outside hacking, so to see internal team members under a confidentiality agreement, an NDA, engage in this was shocking. Given the company's own strict confidentiality and notification obligations, I immediately got on a plane for an in-person meetings with our publishing partner to disclose the information breach and to discuss the impact on the project. During that discussion, our partner expressed low confidence they would be willing to invest the additional resources needed to complete the game, so we mutually agreed to cancel VanCourt. So because of those leaks that happened, and the fact that the person making the leak now publicly decided that they were going to reveal who their source was, the investors decided, well, you know what, we're done. If this is the type of security you have and your people can't even be trusted, forget about being hacked. But we're talking people that work for you are leaking this information. We've lost all confidence in you and your business. We're pulling our investment back and we are done. As a result of the cancellation of the publishing relationship and after careful consideration, I am closing Possibility Space. Today is your last day of employment with Possibility Space and Pre-Tenure Media. I mean, basically what they're saying here is it's done. You guys, we trusted you. You decided to go and leak that information, and whoever they leaked that information to revealed their source, even though it was not directly revealing a person, so that person could be fired and then everyone else would be okay. They just said it was someone within your company. Members within your company have corroborated this, and that was it. This is why you never reveal your source, people. And when people say, show me your source or you're chatting rubbish, this is why you don't do it. If you cannot trust the people that you are talking to, and this is why I will never ever reveal my source, and this is why I won't even talk about anything that's told to me unless I've been given express permission by them to say it in a way that doesn't incriminate that person, I won't say anything. But I know others will immediately, just for the clicks and the clout. And as you can see here, that's what happened. And because of that, a whole studio got shut down. It's awful. But this is the reality of what happens when you leak information. And a lot was leaked here, as you can see. And this is really bad. Really, really bad. And it goes on to say, as of today, I am stepping away from the game industry to focus on my family and care for Annie. I wish you all the best as you navigate this complex industry and challenges and opportunities ahead. Jeff, my dude just said, you know what? If this is what's going to be involved and I've just lost all my funding, I'm done. You're all fired. I'm done. I've got my money. It's not like I care. I'm rich as it is. I've got enough money to look after myself. Good luck to you guys who decided to cut yourselves off from a job. And that's essentially what happened there. Why would you go and reveal your source? And even if it was just one person in there that did this, they're not going to own up. And everyone in that studio got laid off because of it. Really, really awful stuff. Really awful. Anyway, that's it. That's my point. That's my video. Until the next one, remain legend. Peace out.